Action.
All right, today's lesson is on complex fractions.
Lit.
Complex fractions.
Litty.
So we're going to use all the things that we learned, the adding and subtracting in particular, in order to simplify some very complex items.
It already looked long.
They already look long?
Yeah.
It's not even on the board yet.
I'm looking at the assignment work.
Minus 9 over x squared.
Is this an example, miss?
This is an example.
We're jumping right into it.
Awesome.
Like we're Corbin Blue.
Okay. Alright. Be mindful of the extra noise as we are on video today.
Hi guys, welcome to Gabby's vlog. She's not here right now, but she'll be back soon.
Hello. Alright. So if I'm looking at this, what I see is there's something subtracting something. That thing has to be dealt with. And then we're dividing whatever that is over this business. So all these things need to get added together before we can divide the two. Right? So the first thing I'm going to deal with is this part. I'll call that like part A. The second thing I'm going to deal with is part B, the denominator.
Okay.
And then that third step, part C, is going to be the actual division part. Okay?
Interesting.
So, if I'm dealing with part A, right, I want to make it into one fraction or one thing. So I have 1 minus 9 over x squared. Right? How can I combine those things? What do I need in order to be able to subtract?
Common denominator.
I need a common denominator, right? Which means I need it to be over x squared, right? So I can multiply. Right now it's like 1 over 1. If I'm thinking about this like as my mom and Phyllis, my mom has 1, Phyllis has x squared, right? My mom's jealous. She wants an x squared.
So it'd be x squared over x squared?
Yeah, x squared over x squared, because x squared over x squared would be 1. So we're not changing our problem here. We're just changing what it looks like.
Yeah.
So I now have x squared over x squared. Do you guys agree that that's the same as the 1 that we started with? Okay. So x squared over x squared minus 9 over x squared. Cole, open your table. Your volume is coming through on the video. Watch your volume, please. So then we can simplify this. How could we simplify this?
X4.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wait, no. I was
X
thinking
squared, so.
x squared minus 9?
The goal is to have one fraction, right?
Yeah.
So we would have x squared minus 9 over x squared.
That's what I have.
Right, so this is the simplified version of all of that up there.
That's
Can
it?
we continue the, difference of squares or whatever it is?
We can,
Or we not?
you can either way, but you're gonna do the difference of squares eventually. I think it's a little cleaner to leave it this way for right now.
Awesome. Okay.
Alright, so we turned A into x squared minus 9 over x.
Makes sense with a few problems.
Check.
X squared at the bottom, right?
X squared, yes, thank you, Cody.
Yeah.
Okay, so now can we break it down?
So now we're gonna break down the B section. You could go to that.
Why don't you say it right now, though? Why are you not doing it right now?
She
It
seems
just feels
better.
cleaner to me, but there's no reason not to do x plus 3,
X minus 3.
x minus 3 over x squared. As long as you know all those things are the same, it's okay. Okay. So from there, now I want to do the B portion. So I have 1 plus 5 over x plus 6 over x squared. So we have 3 characters. So you could use my mom, Phyllis, and her other next door neighbor, Stacy.
Gotta
Right?
get them all the same.
So they all want to have the same backyard. So right now Phyllis has x
X squared.
squared. My mom wants what to get to x squared?
X.
And
Just x, right? So times x times x. And what does Stacy need?
X squared.
X squared. So she needs x squared and x squared. Right. So if I'm writing these as 3 separate fractions here, well, Stacy is going to be x squared over x squared. My mom is 5x over x squared.
That's crazy.
And Phyllis is 6 over x squared. now that they have the same denominator,
Make them one big thing.
we can make one big fraction, which would be x squared plus 5x plus 6. Which we could put here.
Oh, this.
Oh, I reduced mine.
Alright.
You already broke down the
Yeah.
numerator of that?
Uh-huh.
What did you break it down
I
to?
got x plus 2, x plus 3.
X plus 2, x plus 3. Do we agree with David here?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yep.
Oh, wait, those cancel out? Or one of them does?
So now we have a fraction divided by another fraction, right? So when I write these out, when my C step is happening, I'm gonna do this thing, multiply by the opposite of this, right?
Wait, what?
Run at that one more.
Yeah, do that again.
Yeah.
Please do.
So I have, so division, remember, is the opposite. So you would take this, but division is changing to multiplication, and then you're flipping this fraction.
So, okay, I
So
have
if I,
a question.
I'm a visual learner.
That makes sense.
So instead of writing that way, so I don't get confused, can I just write it as x plus 3 and then x minus 3 over 2?
over
I mean x squared plus,
plus,
yeah, I mean times, my bad,
Times.
times x squared over x plus 2 and x plus 3.
Yeah.
Is that the next step, miss?
yes,
Not
this is the
confuse
next
myself.
step.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
This
Do you
is the
cross
next step.
multiply or cross cancel?
So
Whatever.
this would be, well, now that it's multiplication, it's one big fraction, right?
Yeah.
It's one big fraction. So as long as it's one big fraction,
Can we start canceling out?
we can start canceling. So what can we cancel?
X squared.
Oh yeah.
X squared over x squared is 1.
X plus 3.
X plus 3 over x plus 3 is 1.
it.
That's it, right?
Yep.
So we would be left with
X minus 3
x minus 3
over x
over
plus 2,
x plus 2.
comma x. What would you put though for the x equals not this?
Yeah, what is x not allowed to be?
Which equation would you look at? Oh, 0.
It's not allowed to be 0. It's not allowed to be
2, negative 2, and negative 3.
and negative 3.
So you look at the last problem. You look at the c part of the denominator in order to get the x cannot equal.
Yes, technically, if we look here, this is something we
Oh,
didn't
hello?
really talk about on Tuesday when we talked about multiplication and division. This problem here, before we flip it, like this, before we flip it, this cannot be 0, but also this can't be 0 and that can't be 0. Because right now, if this is 0, so 0 squared, that would make this part undefined, that makes the whole thing undefined. And then once we flip it, the negative 2 and the negative 3 also can't be 0. So even if this x squared was not here,
Still write 0.
we would still write 0 because here it was a problem.
Okay.
Wow.
Very weird. We'll think a little bit more about that in the next couple. Yes, ma'am.
I am confused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did the X word get at the top?
Ah, good question. Team, how did this one write test?
Because
Division.
the bottom one, since you're dividing it, it's just in a fraction form. So the top divided by the bottom. But when
So-
you divide, you multiply, but you have to flip the second one. And
Like
the
flipping
second
the
one.
reciprocal?
Yeah.
The middle step, Tazi, was to take, like this is technically this divided by this. We could have written it x plus 3 times x minus 3 over x squared divided by x plus 2 over x plus 3 over x squared. And then the next step would have been this one.
Oh, so you just skipped the division step.
We just skipped the writing it as like the fourth grade division symbol. When we wrote it,
And
we
you
went
flip
from here
it
to
and
here.
then multiply.
We flip
Fourth
and
grade
multiply,
division
remember?
symbol.
Because when you're multiplying by a fraction, when you're dividing a fraction,
Yeah.
this is the same as times 4 over 3,
Yeah.
like that. So we flip this and use the multiplication symbol. Good questions, good pushes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if we were to write this in like some type of,
Simpler way.
like if we were to give ourselves some steps, we were to give ourselves some steps, what would we do?
Separate
Separate what?
the
The
top and bottom.
The top and bottom.
Separate separate.
I don't know how to spell separate. Man.
Separate them from in sections of A, B, and C. A be the top, B be the bottom, C be the dividing them both.
I'm gonna use the word numerator and denominator. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So
Make it a little
B.
bit more complicated.
You can write the top and bottom. They're your notes. You can write top and bottom. And then C is really that last division step, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The division step. So separate into A, B, and C. And then what would my after I separate them, what should I do?
Exclude values. Oh, wait,
I
no.
should solve. I should simplify
Simplify the A.
A. I should simplify A.
A.
And then I'm gonna simplify B. So I simplified A, then I simplified B, and then step C is to actually divide them, right? Divide the simplified version.
I just put divided, divide A divided by, I put
Oh, good idea.
divide A/B.
A divided by B.
So that was the way I would do that.
Yeah, I like that. So divide A by B. This is what we have been calling step C. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, as always, last step is
Complex set of steps.
Excluded values, right?
Mm-hmm.
So divide. Whew, that is complicated, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's why
Well,
it's called complex fractions.
yeah, that's cool.
How long did that take us? Like 10 minutes?
Every time I learn
11 minutes.
11 minutes.
11 minutes to solve one problem? And we got 8?
All right, we're gonna write
No.
another one here.
88 minutes.
An hour or more. Liddy.
They'll go faster this next time.
Okay, cool,
Okay,
cool.
bet.
It'll go faster because we already know what to do. We need to hire a board eraser. Okay, here we go. No fast, no fast. Let's try this one. 1 over, or no, 1 plus
Do you know space?
2 over 3x. Feel free to go on. Do another page if you need to.
Sweet. Awesome.
2 over x squared plus 3 over x.
With 3x.
3 over x.
Oh, right. Wait, 3 over x? Oh, right.
Look at the board.
Smart.
Cody.
Alright. So I'm gonna label. So first step was to
Dang,
was to separate.
We should put labeled, huh?
Oh, should we say label?
Yeah. put
Separate and label.
Separate / label.
Separate slash label.
Big facts.
Big facts. Big facts. Period.
First of all,
Don't do me.
Alright.
okay.
So my A section would be 1 plus 2 over 3x. Who's jealous? What do they need?
3x
3x
Yeah.
on which one?
for 3x for the
Okay.
1.
For the 1. So 3x over 3x.
Yeah.
So now I have 3x over 3x plus 2 over 3x.
Now the denominators
Make 'em
are the
big.
same. You just add them. So you have at the top on the numerator you have 3x plus 2 over 3x,
Good, Tazi.
and then these are the values at the end. So then you move on to B.
Move on to B. Can I write A
Oh
up
yeah,
here?
right A up there. You move on to B.
B.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Over x, and both of the one on this side is jealous that has the 2x, so you add an x. When you multiply
Whoa.
it times x, and you do the same thing for the numerator, and then your new thing is 2 over x squared plus 3x over x squared. And then you add those together, so at the top you have 3x plus 2 over x squared. And that's your, and
Sorry.
you can't break that down. So then you put it under that one. So now you have 3x plus 2x. Hold on, miss.
That's
Then
crazy.
you have to flip it.
Mm-hmm.
So you
So it's
write.
technically this thing divided by this thing, right?
Right.
No,
so,
no.
Can we write that one out?
Yeah, that's fine, that's fine. So C, so technically this means, what would you write, Tazzy?
For what?
To
Oh, for
write
C.
this out.
Yeah, I'll write 3x plus 2 over 3x, then the little fourth grade division sign. 3x plus 2 over x squared. And then for the next part, I will write 3x plus 2 over 3x. And then I'll put a multiplication sign and I'll write x squared over 3x plus 2.
So this one's really turning into that one, right?
Yeah, and then I would just draw the line. I would just connect the lines because now they all
Whoa.
were, yeah, that. And then I will cancel the 3x plus 2.
Whoa.
And then I have x squared over 3x.
Yep.
And my excluded values are.
What did you get 2?
I only got 0.
Negative 2 over 3.
Why negative 2 over 3, Chris?
Oh, I hate fractions.
Oh, because together.
Wait, what?
Subtract the
This
0
is-
and then divide by 3.
This is not allowed to be 0, so I would subtract 2, divide by 3. So I get negative 2/3.
Oh my gosh.
That's kind of weird, yeah.
That is so cool.
Please don't tell me it's gonna be one with
Fractions weird.
Is it gonna be one with fractions?
You can look at the answers. I don't think so.
Oh, thank God. 'Cause fractions are gonna be tall.
because you
Go test.
because you know how when we set that equal to 0, and then we have to do the negative 2 then divided by 3, but it's not right in this equation. It's not allowed to equal 0, so therefore we have to do negative 2 over 3 as one of the excluded values because we don't want it to equal 0. Whereas if we was looking for the what do they call it, the
Solutions?
yeah, the solutions, we would set it equal to 0, so we gotta do the opposite of that.
Tyson big smart.
Mm.
Good job,
Go
guys.
ahead, sis.
I'm gonna argue that we're not done.
Oh.
You what?
Why are you arguing?
I'm gonna argue that this is not simplified.
Oh,
Why?
Because x squared is what, Rodrigo?
X.
X, X.
This is technically x times x, right?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Are you serious, Miss?
Yeah. So now what can we do?
Cancel out the x's, so it'll be x over 3.
Oh.
Well, I thought.
X over 3, same things.
I'm going to get irritated if that happens.
You cannot add or subtract them because they're not like terms.
Big money. Bruh.
What is the difference between 3x and x?
3x, because if the x was like 2, it'd be 6, but if 2 was like
Those are added,
2,
those are
that'd be
multiplied.
8.
I want to select the X's.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's x plus x plus x. The
This
other
is
one's
x
times
plus
x.
x plus x
The other one's multiplied.
times.
Miss, so then
Does that make sense?
For X squared.
X squared
What are you doing?
is x times x, where 2x is 2 times x, or x plus x.